My name is Tafheem Firdous and I come from Karanagar area of Srinagar district, and I have recently qualified the Civil Services Examination JKPSC Combined Competitive Examinations 2021, and I have secured rank of 27 in the examinations, and it was my second attempt at JKPSC. In my last attempt I had reached the interview stage, but fortunately or unfortunately I did not get through that time. So this year I have finally, after a hard work of nearly around 5.5 years, it has finally bore fruit, and thankfully and Alhamdulillah, I have qualified in this attempt. My optional subject was anthropology. Initially, in my previous attempt, my optional was sociology. However, due to an unsuccessful attempt in the previous year, I shifted my subject towards anthropology because of the reason that I believe that certain inherent advantages are present in the anthropology subject, and my strengths, I believe, the diagrammatic part in anthropology, I felt it makes it actually your preparation and your strengths. If you have a good diagrammatic skill and your presentation as well, then I believe that anthropology inherently is a little more scoring than the sociology. My earlier educational background has been that I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2017. After that, I started my preparation of civil services. I initially joined Zakat Foundation of India, which sponsored my coaching in New Delhi. I had done coaching from an institute named Khan Study Group in Delhi for a brief period of around 4 to 5 months, while I did my optional coaching of sociology from Vajiram and Ravi in 2017 2018. However, for my second optional, which I took in this attempt, I did not do any kind of coaching. I prepared self notes, and the journey was quite long, but thankfully I have qualified in this attempt. My preparation strategy has been quite. I believe that the preparation of civil services actually requires proper guidance, and self study after that, I believe that self study is the critical thing that actually helps you to get through the examinations. And primarily I believe the right guidance is the proper strategy that is required, and help from my senior officers who have been affiliated with me in this journey. Various officers from the state services have namely ICP, an institute in Rajbagh. Officers from that institute have really helped me and mentored me along the journey. And for I believe for prelims, my I would share some insights about the prelim strategy and the main strategy. This in prelim stage, we are having basically two papers. One is the general studies one, and the other is the CSAT, which is about reasoning, mathematics, and a bit of English comprehension. For GS1, there are almost 5 to 6 basic components, and the static sources are to be covered from the conventional books. And for the dynamic part, we have to refer to the newspapers regularly. For the CSAT part, since I was from engineering background, I did not require that much of effort in that, since my mathematics and the reasoning part is usually the engineers have a good background of that. But however, in the changing times, the level of CSAT has increased a lot, and it requires a bit of guided preparation and the practice of previous year question papers. In For the main stage, the answer writing part is very critical, and it is this answer writing part, I believe, which holds actually a lot of importance in shaping and in actually finalizing your selection till the last stage. For mains, there are almost 7 to 8 papers, out of which are seven decide your rank, and one is just a qualifying paper of English. For GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, the prelims background is quite enough for in if we talk about the knowledge base, but we need to actually align our preparation in such a way that the answer writing and the structure and the presentation, various elements of the answer writing, are in a proper manner. We have to basically align our preparation in such a way that our language is very simple, it is very precise and to the point. And apart from that, when we talk about the preparation, I believe one of the essential ingredients of the mains examination is the innovation that a student can basically bring in. For example, if I give an example, we were being asked, there were various questions. I will just quote an example of how I innovated the things. We had a question about the delimitation exercise. A question was being asked about the recent delimitation in the GS2 paper. So what I did, usually we mention all the three or four points of the delimitation, the provisions which have been included in the recent delimitation exercise. Now, what I did, since it was a theoretical paper, the question was simply theory based. What I did is that I tried to include the map of Jammu and Kashmir. For instance, we know that in delimitation, the number of seats in Jammu and Kashmir were being increased from 107 to 114. So 7 seats were being increased. So what I did was that I drew the map of Jammu and Kashmir, and for the POK side and for the Indian side, I just showed with the diagram that how I just simplified it. And similarly, in the likewise, I in many of the questions I use the diagrammatic part, which in most of the candidates they don't innovate. For example, we had a question on the Agmut cadre itself. So in Agmut cadre, we now know that erstwhile J&K cadre was being integrated with the Agmut cadre. So we were being asked about the various provisions of the Agmut cadre, the hard and the soft areas. In that question, also I drew the map. So I think these innovations are actually these actually help to value add our notes, and they increase our chances of scoring well in the mains examination. Similar innovations lied with various subjects. For example, the optional subject, if I talk about anthropology, what I did, that anthropology as a subject comprises of two to three essential components, which is one is the biology part, which is the physical anthropology part, the socio-cultural part, and the third is the archaeology part. A candidate, as per my analysis, if one is good at biology, science subjects have an inherent advantage of getting higher marks. So what I did, that I tried to attempt most of the questions from the physical part, since although I had a good background of the sociology part as well. But attempting more questions, which you just have to one just has to minimize the risks of basically reducing the marks in the examination. For the interview stage, in my last attempt I had appeared in the mocks at various institutes, primarily at ICP. But in this attempt I did not attempt any mocks because since I was working with a local institute named Insights, a Bangalore based institutes actually, but their local we have they have locally shifted their one of their campuses in Rajbagh area. I was working as a faculty cum mentor there. So I felt like, since I my interview was on the very second day of the interview schedule, so I did not actually attempt for any of the mocks, although but I prepared my DAF thoroughly, and the expected questions that I would be asked, I believe that one has to open up in the present, one has to open up, and you have to basically elaborate upon your basically overall personality, the schooling, the college, the engineering background I had. After that, the switches to from the humanities, from the engineering field to the humanities, and the essential purpose why I wanted to join the services. That should be very clear in an aspirant, and that is what kept my interview. I believe it helped me to give a proper direction in the interview. I believe that these were the certain essential elements that I followed, and I believe the essential takeaway from my preparation of 5.5 years was that it this exam requires us to be very focused. It requires us to basically be completely determined and passionate about why and the purpose of joining the civil service. It should be clear in an aspirant's mind why he wants to join this particular services. So that those things kept me motivated, and the purpose, the inspiration I drew from the serving officers, the changes and the opportunities that this service provides, the diversity, all these motivated me to stay focused. And Alhamdulillah, with the blessings of my parents, the well wishes of my friends, my students, I believe those were the essential ingredients of my preparation, and I am highly obliged to. I would definitely love to thank my basically teachers from Tyndall Bisco School who have actually helped and shaped my overall personality. My faculty, my teachers at Islamic University, from where I have completed my bachelor's in engineering, they have played an immense crucial role. And finally, the mentors and the officers who were who at various stages helped me to understand the changing dynamics of the exam. And thankfully, I'm highly indebted to all of them. I thank them from the core of my heart, and I hope that the students they basically continue their preparation and stay motivated. My messages for the for those candidates who are preparing and for those of my friends who did not qualify in this attempt would be, it is, I believe that I remember a friend's advice that it is just a matter of time that there is between between an aspirant and the one who is selected. We just need to stay focused, and we just need to be passionate about why we want to join the services. And inshallah, I believe that everyone, all of the hardworking candidates will inshallah make it to the services soon. And I would again like to thank my parents, my friends, and my teachers who have been a part of this very long but satisfying journey.